If you've ever known the heartbreak of underperforming in a race that you trained through blood, sweat and tears to get to, then this training series is dedicated to you. Because Chicago Marathon is just under 15 weeks away. It's fast, it's flat, it's a PB course. But we've learnt some hard lessons from Boston. So we're changing our process and our focus. And we're going to share it all with you over 11 episodes, one every 2 weeks. The highs, the lows, the reality.
We probably need to talk. This feels like a bit like an intervention into my running, but if we talk about New York and Boston and the horror show that they both were, and when I say horror show, I qualify that by we both ran PBs, but what we're aiming for is never PBs. We're aiming for enjoying the process and enjoying the experience, and that to an extent happened at New York, but Boston, forget it. New York might be because we flew in the day before. We didn't have time for the jet lag to get us, nothing like that. We just turned up and ran. But Boston, we had time. And I suspect we overtrained. I suspect that we overcooked it in the lead up. Maybe we just stepped over that line and pushed ourselves into a place where our bodies just couldn't respond on the day. And as such, we had pretty torrid experiences. And so the point of this training series, the point of all of this, is that we plan to reconnect with the reason that we're in running in the first place, the joy. That's it. And I think if we can find that joy, if we can reignite that passion, the thing that sets our soul on fire, PBs will come, but they won't be the focus. Running a time, it won't be the focus. The focus will be the joy. And that's why I think it can help so many of you out there as well, because I think sometimes we lose our way and we're doing everything we can to find it, and we want to share it with you. But for that bit, I need Mary to talk.
So for my Chicago training, the motto is really less is more. So I went quite high on my mileage for Boston, higher than I've ever done before. And I think actually that was probably detrimental and resulted in a disappointing performance. So yeah, I'm gonna cut back on the mileage really and not have so many long runs earlier in the process, and really take my time to build up to the full distances. Also, whilst I'm keeping the distance down, I'm going to increase my threshold work. So before I was doing threshold sessions or interval sessions on a Tuesday, and now I'm going to be doing threshold work twice a week and really push that element of my training so that I can still recover really well between the sessions, but really learning to push my pace, be comfortable being uncomfortable more often, and really get that marathon pace feeling good, ready for race day. Essentially, I feel like that was really lacking in the last block, and something I really want to focus on this time. Fueling is a really big area that I feel is essential to focus on. I feel like that was a massive downfall of mine in Boston, both in my kind of overall nutrition in the lead up to the race, and also in race fueling and nutrition. I just didn't have the energy at Boston to perform, and I need to change that. I want to be feeling really energized, really good, and ahead of any dips in energy. So I'm going to work on my overall diet, increase my carb intake, especially in the race week. And I'm going to try some new gels. We're heading to the UK. I'm going to get some new gels to try and hopefully really nail my in-race nutrition, so that I can feel good for the whole race. That is the dream. So the structure is going to be pretty similar to what I did for Boston, which at the moment I'm in the base phase, so I'm on 4 runs a week, which is perfect for me because I'm building back from injury and illness. So I'm really currently just working on getting my base fitness back to where it needs to be. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday running. I haven't been doing too much threshold work yet, but that is coming. Strength and conditioning Monday and Wednesday, and adding in now daily mobility. And as I move through the training program, through the blocks, I'll be building up to 5 runs a week and then 6 in the final build block as well.
And how are you feeling generally about the training ahead?
I'm feeling good. Like, it's taken me a while to get here. I wasn't feeling good. I had my cervical spine issues. I've had illness. I've had quite a lot of stress. I've had a very busy time. So actually the start has probably been the most challenging of any of my recent marathons that I've trained for, and I've felt like, am I going to be able to do this? But now I've had 3 weeks of consistent running, and it's the start of the school holidays. I'm starting to feel quite excited. I'm starting to feel like my fitness is coming back, and now that we've talked through the plans and how I'm going to tweak the sessions from before, I'm kind of like, yeah, I think excited, I'm hopeful, and I'm pretty positive that I'm going to give it my all and see what this slightly different approach can do for me. I'd love to have an amazing experience in Chicago. I've heard such good things. Sounds like the course is perfect for me. So yeah, I'd say my overall feeling right now is feeling hopeful.
Down in the dungeon is all we know, where the shining light, we never go into the open. As far as you can see it, wasting there a big bright destiny. Don't you feel like
This isn't the only joy we're talking about, although it is one of the things that brings us joy.
It's a large part of it.
It is actually a large part. Part of this whole Chicago, all 11 episodes are going to be about hunting for the best ice cream out there. We started with the worst, by the way.
We don't know. We've never tried this ice cream.
White malt crunchy.
In the shop I went into, it was the only option that didn't have nuts, and obviously I do not want to cause you any damage. So it's an experiment.
Okay, not bad. Maybe we'll bring back the old segment from years ago. If you're an old fan, if you're a long time follower of the channel, welcome to
Car Chat!
You have no idea what I'm talking about, most people, but if you do, you're the OG. So, the reason that we're trying to find the joy again in the Chicago Marathon training series is very simple. Why don't you just talk about what's happened to you first over the last 8 weeks, just very quickly.
Yeah, I've had a pretty challenging 8 weeks. I had really bad pain. I had 3 compressed discs in my neck and my cervical spine, and then that got me very run down, lack of sleep, and I got a bad virus. So I've had injury and illness. Probably my biggest running setback since I started running in 2018.
And sorry, this is actually quite nice. Long story short, I had an operation a couple of weeks ago, stitches, just to check some lymph nodes, just to make sure everything was okay. I've got a lymph node infection, lymphadenitis I believe it's called. Antibiotics are doing the job, but again, that knocked me out of training after Boston, and ultimately, Boston, we kind of ran ourselves into the ground a bit, didn't we? So this whole series, this whole training series, as much as we're going to share everything with you, the highs, the lows, the sessions, the structure, it's going to be about how we find the joy, and one of the ways is the search for the ultimate ice cream. Yeah, and it's going to be like, if we can find the joy in running, will that translate to a great performance? And it's where it starts, right here. So put in the comments what you think is the ultimate ice cream. I think I already know what you think, but just putting it out there. I think there's still more to be discovered, and I'm open for the search.
And that brings us here on this beach, because for the next 7 weeks we're going to be able to reconnect with running, remind ourselves why we loved it in the first place, and we're going to take you along with us. So we've got 7 weeks of being able to go on runs like this. Look at this. And explore. That's the aim. It's just remind ourselves what sets our soul on fire when it comes to running, why we were in it in the first place, and it's for the love of the adventure, the joy in it. Everything else, I think, will fall into place.
Yeah, we'll find the joy and see what happens.
dreams getting bigger than you and me? Taking the leap, now I'm evergreen. My dreams getting bigger than you
That's it. Pretty joyful run.
Loved it.
Boom. And you know what we've earned now?
Correct.
What? It's a different day.